Hey there guys, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes. I'm currently waking up on a Sunday morning, and so it's time to record the first episode as coffee kicks in. Welcome to the new Let's Play, welcome to Sir Peperosso's quest. Alright, so as I already mentioned in my previous Let's Play, this Let's Play is going to be a little bit different in the sense that we are going to be skipping the process of acquiring our own ship and building it up. Instead, we are going to be taking one of the more beautifully made and very detailed ships from the Steam store, and we are then going to see, is it going to remain that way over some period of time? And I've decided the way that we're going to do this is the following. So, Sir Peperosso is a noble and chivalrous knight in one of the Trinium-based nations, a kingdom, so to speak. But see, Sir Peperosso of the Englosa family has ended up on the wrong side of his king's favor. The man's constant droning about the code of chivalry to his peers and betters alike, even though he himself is inexperienced and only has his name and the wealth of his family to fall back upon, has reached its peak, and as redemption, he has been sent to one of their allies in the Iron Belt to kind of redeem himself. Basically, a man... the whole point of this Let's Play was based around the idea that, well, a man in shining armor just means that he never has had his iron tested. I think that was the actual quote. And so the idea is that we are going to take a Trinium ship, although for the sake of this Let's Play, I have removed all of its shield generators and all of its integrity generators. It is going to take visual damage over time, and as we go through the Let's Play, we will need to repair it in the sense that it's going to be more visual rather than practical. You'll see for yourself. But basically the idea is this. Peperosso has been given a task to stabilize the nation. Basically, he is going to aid civilians, he is going to have to fight pirates, he'll have to find and destroy pirate infestations, and at the same time, Sir Peperosso is obviously a knight, so that means that there is no mining, no salvaging, and no exploration when it comes to selling asteroids. This means that he will need to gain money from helping civilians, doing missions, and basically killing off pirates. If you are very curious as to how I made this ship and why it has all the things that it currently has, for the sake of the scenario, what I did is I gave myself the necessary resources to actually spawn the ship. And there it is, by the way. This has to be one of the most beautiful aesthetic ships that are currently available for download on the Avorion Steam webpage thing. And I can tell you right now it's not going to remain that way for long. But again, that is sort of the point. This is his pride and joy. This is his amazing little shippy. And as we are going to be helping the civilians in need, the knight in shining armor is going to start taking dents and bruises and cuts, and we are going to be repairing all of this with iron, because there is no trinium here. He will have to survive on his own in this new place. So, again, no mining, no trading. We are a knight, we are not a merchant or a miner or, God forbid, some scrapper. And that is how we are going to do everything around here. So, the way that I set the ship up is, once I finished making the ship itself by giving me the resources that I needed, I bought every single item on the starting systems equipment dealer Then I went to the capital and did the same thing. After I had installed all of the items that I wanted to install, basically for guns, I sorted by damage, and when it comes to systems, I gave myself better hyperspace upgrades, some turret control systems, and of course, a radar upgrade. I was then forced to sell everything else, and then reset all of my stuff to 0. This is what I get, so this is, for the sake of the scene, how Peperosso has arrived. And now, he is going to help everyone else. For those of you curious, Peperosso's ship is currently 95,000 hull, there is no shield, and at the same time... So it's 7 slots, again, obviously, and the way we're going to be doing this is... well, you'll see. So one thing I'm going to warn you about is that I did try to play this in single player just to test the concept. It worked. I'm very glad as to how well it worked. And the only issue was with being hit by torpedoes. This ship has an astounding amount of blocks. You can see all of these little curves and lines that were made. All of these are done by having very small, very many little blocks. So that means if we get hit by a torpedo, the game basically locks up for a bit. And not fun. So first of all, let's see if there are any civilians that require our help. Resource shortage, I'm very sorry, but I'm not a trader. More resource shortage. And more resource shortage. But that's okay, because if we don't have anything here to do, we do need to open up our map and take a look at the whole area. We need to figure out where our boundary starts and ends. So over here we have the Lioibo. I'm going to take this gate just to map out where the border is. I'm not going to enter it. So I think that for now, Peperosso has no intention to help them with diplomatic disputes. Oh, no, never mind. It turns out that I actually need money to pass through the gate, which makes sense. And I think it's the southeast one. So I'm going to actually jump there. This is a beautiful, like, very beautiful ship. But you know that's not going to remain for long. Again, the reason why I didn't place any integrity generators is just to encourage... What is this? So yeah, I'm not going to be involved in any diplomatic disputes. So I'm actually more interested to just waiting those 35 seconds and just jumping back. The one thing that I've chosen to ignore is the, well, you can see that this ship actually does have room for fighters, but I think that, considering the ship itself and the amount of guns I have, it's already overkill for, you know, for the iron sector, so I really doubt that we will need to actually employ those. So yeah. So just to point this out, as my ship is going to take damage and lose blocks, I cannot reconstruct those blocks, just like in the previous Let's Play. If there's any huge visual damages, for example, there's hull panels missing and inner systems are exposed, I will have to pause the game, go into the build menu, and build a feasible, visually feasible sort of patchwork. So, obviously, Peperosso does not have access to his nation's shipyards. He has to deal with these peasants in their, iron sector. So they are going to patch it up as, as much as they can, which, again, is not really good. Scrap metal. Oh, these peasants dealing with the scrap metal. 150 conductors. How can you have a shortage of that? This really is a backwater plan. But it's okay, right now we're just exploring. Actually, we're just waiting for a pirate raid to hit so we can get our first amount of moonies. Someone already pointed out that starting off with 0 of everything means that I will need to hope that I'll get money at some point, because otherwise I can't pay my crew. And that's kind of troublesome. Oh, what is this? It looks like the Federation of is not actually on good terms with us. That is good to know. These guys don't have processors. Liars. Fusion generators. So what are you? West-northwest. So this is the actual place. Okay, that's good. It just means that we're not going to go there. Sometime soon I'm going to find a military outpost that's going to give us our first mission, or we are going to find some aliens. Okay, so this is somewhere where the next nation starts. That is good to know. I guess I'll just keep exploring for now. Actually, let's go to the capital. I'm gonna very quickly check if the military outpost there has any sort of mission for us. What do these poor people need? There we go. Wipe out pirates. And that's actually quite a sizable sum, so that only can mean it's going to be a pretty hard mission. Okay. Sir Peperosso is up for the challenge. No wonder you can't do this yourself. You need a knight in shining armor. Okay guys, I think this is the last time we will ever see the ship in its current, very beautiful state. Because we are about to go out on our first mission. Okay. Jumped in and instantly being fired upon. Have at you, scoundrels! So, as you can see, the challenge of the Let's Plays has nothing to do with the challenge of the PvE. So, obviously we are very, very overpowered for what we do, but then again, Knights in Shining Armor cutting down bandits is basically that. And there we go. We received our first payment. We finally have money. And now, let's take a look at our once beautiful ship. Oh yeah, that is some battle damage right there. And we will need to repair all of that. And that is something we will do in just a moment. Because in order to do so, we'll actually need to go and buy some iron. It looks like in a second we're gonna have a small alien incursion. We must defend these poor people. Emphasis on poor. I'm just gonna buy 2,000 of iron, because that's all they have. Okay, I want to show you something, so let's go into the repair ship option, which we can't use. So this is the amount of stuff we lost from that one single engagement. And discard. So as you can see, we are slightly Swiss cheesed, and we'll need to just mend all of that in just a moment. But since we're about to get a alien incursion anyway, let's get through that first. There is something I need to do though. We actually lost a fair bit of turrets. So what we're going to do, we're going to modify the entire ship without any changes. Oh, apparently I cannot do that. What is it trying to modify though, that I need money for? I just wanted to remove all of the... highlight my turrets, please. And let's set up everything all over again. So this is the way that I did. Chain gun turret. Chain gun turret, chain gun turret. turret. Chain gun turret. Point defense chain gun turret. Okay, that is all of them. This is set to 2, and everything else is going to be set to 1. There we go. A small group of alien ships have appeared. Not on my watch, you don't. Begone, curs! You mad dogs! You mad puppers! I have fought greater enemies than you. Okay, there we go. And now we can actually start preparing the ship. So now we're going to do the actual Let's Play part of the Let's Play. We are going to actually try to fix some of this damage. There's going to be a lot of visual things that it's just too fine a detail to fix, and I'm not going to do that. But that being said, we need to patch this thing up so that we don't lose any internal components. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. And starting from the front. The way that I'm going to do this is the following. I'm going to choose a different color from what we currently have. So let's say Infinity Gold. And just start patching it up. Scale step 0, everything else to 0. No need for mirroring. I don't know how to make these, so this will have to do. We kind of have to be generous with the thickness of these plates. Because in the end, their purpose is to keep the ship safe, after all. And yeah, of course, the people of this sector, you know, of the iron sector in general, they don't know how to do the, you know, cool sweeping lines and everything else. Sorry, Peperosso. We'll make it not have holes, but that's the extent of our knowledge. Well, the front is slowly getting better. Now, just a reminder, we're not trying to repair every single thing we lost. We just need to make sure that there's no internal systems sticking out through holes. Which is easier said than done, because there's some minute details like this that are just a bitch to fix. But we will indeed try. After all, this is a flagship of a knight. It needs to be nice and repaired to the best of abilities. And there we go, guys. So you can see some of the visual damage cannot be repaired so easily. So, for example, the top of the cockpit is very problematic to repair. But as for everything else, we did replace many of the holes we got with plates. And so there's no more holes. The ship really did take a beating from that one encounter, though. Usually it would be a lot slower to be damaged, but there we go. And I think that's enough for episode 1. So you get the gist. Let's see how many episodes in we can keep the ship very close to its original shape and form. Because, it doesn't look that bad right now, but you can already see that this patchwork, just very patchy sort of repair, and that is going to remain like that for a while. Actually, let me very quickly fix some of these as well. This is fine. This is just fine. And this is why you don't make pretty starships. Trying to contain all of the damage later on is just interesting. How the hell am I going to repair this? Yeah, this is fine. I gotta patch up all the bigger holes over here. Yeah, this is fine. Seems legit. Okay, guys, enough is enough. I'll see you in the next episode.